People,
Let's do
we,
it.
we
Oh,
ready.
oh, crap, man.
Hey,
I'm here
see,
singing.
yeah,
Oh.
you don't let it out the bag again. You gonna have a
Yeah.
record contract before it's over with.
Well, whatever it takes to get there, right? Oh,
Yeah,
man. Hey, real quick, before we get started, we all know the standing run on this show. We got a new winner.
a new winner.
Adventures of a Home Cook. You beat Robert Race. You beat Robert Race to the chat. Yes, there were
Yes,
people. I set the studio up yesterday, and there were people messaging last night. Doesn't count. It's all started on game day when our studio starts tracking.
that's right.
Adventures of a Home Cook wins. You know how to get a hold of me. Get a hold of me. Give me address or whatever. You got another bottle of Willows coming. Uh, yeah.
There you go. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Finally,
All
somebody
right.
beat Robert.
Hey, no, I had to talk to T Carmack too. So yesterday I sent two bottles out that had been a while.
Yeah,
So I know they're watching or they're watching in a minute. Massel, Nate, your bottles are coming.
there you go. That's what's up.
Yep. Robert's in the house. Lucy's in the house.
Well, Tracy,
Hey, Redbeard's in
boy,
the house, dude. Hey, so I don't know if you saw, I posted a little bit of it, but I did that Fricks Picanha, bro, from the Dude Box.
how was it?
Best picanha I've ever had in my
There you
life.
go.
I
There
mean, I
you go.
haven't had. I mean, picanha's not something like tri-tip for me, where I've had like off and on my whole life had probably like 4,000 of them.
Right, right.
But dude, I've had a few picanhas, and it fricks and beef hits different. If you don't know, you should know, and if you don't want to know, I don't know what's wrong with you.
That's true.
Like I'm serious, it's just seriously different. So I did it open fire, right, on the
Yeah, I
rotisserie
seen that.
in
I
my
seen that.
kettle. Yeah, so I got a bed of lump charcoal going, and then I just kept little splits like like backyard offset size basically.
Right.
And I would just throw those on while I was rotisserie away, dude. It was
There you go. Words can't explain it.
yeah. I used some Redbeard seasoning, the Cajun black, and the steak and brisket, and
Mm,
I when I was tasting them, right, because I always taste it like I'll stick my finger in each one and kind of taste them back to back, kind of get an idea. I mean,
right.
it always tastes different on the meat and after it's been cooked and all that. And I
True.
tasted it and I'm like, man, that's different, but I don't know. So it came across same flavors but different, obviously on the meat. And boy
Yeah.
howdy, bud, boy howdy,
Nice.
it was really good. Yeah, it was
Nice.
really good.
Yeah, I still got to cook mine, so
Well, I mean, like as we know, I'm super lucky because I got two dude boxes. So it's like
true.
that was my first picanha. So now I get to I made that one really good and it was awesome. So now I get to do something funky with the
There
next
you
one.
go.
It's like, hey, stick around for the beef cheeks and beef ribs that are coming up next. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep, yep, yep.
So, hey, without also we can't forget about Willow Seasoning. Willow
No doubt.
Seasoning is the sponsor of this show.
For sure.
Watch out for that one right there, that Memphis. The sweet smoke.
I use it
And
today.
I'm telling you, hey, listen, right here, this one coming up right here, this sweet heat. The number one hot rub in America last year at the American Royal Barbecue, best rub on the planet contest.
Use it
You
today
take
too.
that and that original Bacon's Japanese barbecue sauce on pork, it's life changing. I don't even know how else to describe it. It's life changing. It's
you
life changing.
you told me about it the other day, and I tried it on a tenderloin, and you did on the money with it.
Dude, it is something different, bro. It's
Yep.
special. It
Yeah,
is special.
I done it on a pork tenderloin, and you did on it. You did on the money. It's
Yeah.
good. So
So, well, let's do a little quick comment recap, and then we're gonna pull our buddy in because it's
he's
gonna be a
waited
good
long
show
enough.
tonight. Yeah. So we need a show every night of the week. Just saying, Alonzo can't get enough of the Dude Network. I'm not sure who Alonzo is. Hey, see, she knows. That
Mm-hmm.
picanha is good. She cut hers up into steaks. I saw the reel. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
she blasted out a chimichurri. That's what's up right there.
Yeah.
Money. Hey, Britt,
Hey,
what's
Britt.
up? How are you? If you guys aren't following that Salted Bite, you need to check her out. Oops, I meant we need a show every night of the week. I can't get enough of the. Yeah, for sure. Okay. No, I'm on to you, Brad. I'm on to you. All right.
Oh, yeah, we can't take Brad nowhere.
Pecan is my fave. What is this? The pecan is the only thing remaining in my dude box, too. Hey, Cajun black and steak and brisket. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Oh, so hey, and if you're wondering what the dude box is, if you're wondering what the dude box is, let's see. I think we're gonna go back to yours, buddy.
I got you.
Actually, you know what? We'll hook our buddy Brad up. We'll hook our buddy Brad up. Che from Redbeard himself. This is what. Whoa! What happened here? Someone move my stuff. From
No,
Redbeard himself. Here is the dude box.
Crappy rainy day here in north central Ohio, but look what I just got in the mail today. The Dude Network box is here from Frickson Family Farms. All the way from Minnesota to Ohio, and everything is still frozen. We got some beef jerky, beef cheeks, picanha steak. Look at that color. 2 pounds of beef bacon, tri-tip roast, and the dino ribs. Look how thick those babies are. Bottle of Willow Seasonings Memphis blend. I think we got some cooking to do with all this stuff. So stay tuned.
yes. Easy
That is
enough.
so good. Hey, T Carmax in the house. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hello and wild eyes for you. Let's do this. All right. All right. All right. All right. Enough said. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
we got a good friend in the house all the way from Jersey. All the way from Jersey. And I mean, he can tell you which part. There's that's a whole thing in Jersey. There's like meat cuts and explanations behind it. It's a whole thing, right? But there's something awesome about this guy, and he, just be careful with the eyes. That's all I'm gonna say. Without
Yep.
further ado, our buddy, what's up, Dirty
Just for you. Just
Joyzy?
for you.
What's up, man?
Hey!
Googly eyes itself.
Yeah, they're the googly eyes right there. Let's go.
Got to come in hard with the
All right.
eyes, guys. Got to
Yeah,
come in
man.
hard with the
Right.
eyes. Johnsie's only drinking water, but I figure I can't come on this show without a beer in my hand.
Hey, I know.
I drink
sorry, man.
enough beer. I drank enough beer
Guys,
earlier
over
today.
to water.
Yeah. Yeah, Wooda, right?
Yeah.
It's
All water.
WURDA, right? Wooda.
WOODER. Wooder.
Oh, sorry, Wooder. Okay,
Wooder.
It's that new stuff.
there it is. Oh man. So how the heck are you, man?
Man, if I was any better,
Thanks
I'd
for
be
coming
you,
on.
Johnsy. If I was any better, I'd be you. Nah,
Oh,
thanks
get
for
outta
having
here.
me, man.
Yeah,
It's always a good time.
for
I feel
sure.
like, I'm
I know
the
you're
only
super.
one without a hat. I got to get my hat on here.
There you go.
You got it.
Oh, okay.
Now you fit in. Now you
Yeah.
fit in.
You know? So,
Yeah, we've been trying to do this one, but I know you're super busy. With the daytime career. We all have those around here.
yeah, I don't
I
think
know
any
we
of
look
us
like
do
big
this
internet stars, but we still have day jobs, folks.
Oh, yeah. I work in a school district, and I'm a director of technology and curriculum in a school district. Professional
crazy.
development work and
Okay.
everything too. Kind of working on my doctorate for my for educational leadership and getting my superintendent license. But I also coach wrestling, and I'm opening up a wrestling academy actually tomorrow here. So a lot of busy stuff, especially with my son at the high school
Yeah.
level wrestling, and I want to be involved with him. He came to the school that I work at just so I can help coach him. So that's not a lot of pressure because you know what you're doing and you enjoy what you do. But at the same time, it's definitely a commitment.
I'm surprised you even say you're busy. Like you don't have even that much going on. Holy cow!
You know,
we just did squeak them
Dude,
in.
just another
right?
day in the
Yeah,
neighborhood
sir.
around here. Then you put on the fact that I
Right.
got what 4 kids and 2 dogs and a lovely wife that needs attention too, right? So
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey,
you
for
gotta
sure.
meet, you know, happy wife, happy life, or happy spouse, happy house, however you want to put it. But
That is an absolute gospel truth, my friends. Hey, for all you who don't know, you better figure that out quick.
not too dirty. So
Fine.
you know, it's I actually, you know, so I'll also my wife's family kind of runs the local American Legion around here too. They, you know, kind of runs the local Sons of the American Legion. They do
Okay.
they do a oldies dance every month. And so when I do it, I
Oh,
have a set of
sick.
DJ
Oh, that's
speakers,
awesome. Yeah.
right? So I have a set of DJ speakers, and I say I'm DJ BBQ because it just fits with the Dirty Jersey barbecue too. So it
Yeah,
just works.
yeah. Dude.
Yes.
Oh, you're a man of many mysteries. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Look, if there's something I can
Wrestling
learn, I try to learn.
aficionado. That's what it's all about. Pack them life experiences in, right?
Oh yeah.
For sure.
So, dude, wrestling. Did you wrestle in high school then? Did
I
you wrestle? Were you
I wrestled
wrestling?
in high school and college. Yeah, I wrestled in high school and college. So
And college.
yeah,
Nice.
so I was Division III at King's College in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and
Let's go.
you know we were a top 10 D3 team. We had some great wrestlers on our team that I still take some of the lessons they taught me and teach some of the kids that I work with. You know, so it's great stuff. You know, my college coach still keeps in touch with me. My high school coach recently retired.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's
Yeah.
something that you know, I'm still close with a lot of them and everything. And
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
guys
yeah.
that I coached, that before I became, so I was a teacher and head wrestling coach for 11 years at a high school. And then in the same district, my whole educational career has been in the same district. But
Okay.
I was promoted to athletic director and assistant principal after those 11 years. So for 5 years, I was
Wow.
athletic director, assistant principal. And now this is my 3rd year as like technology professional development type director.
Yeah.
And during those 5, you know, my last year as a head coach before I became athletic director, I had a kid that you know, was a region champion, got him a full scholarship to an NAIA school out in Kansas.
Okay.
And out of Baker University in Kansas, he ended up being a 4-time All-American. Just moved back to the state. We got him a phys ed job in the district, and he's helping us coach. He's actually going in with me for that academy that we're opening. So it's cool, not only to kind of open that, and our vision is to do it for kids. You know, so often club sports and club level sports and things that you do in the off season are really only accessible to the people that have the money. So what we did is we just kind of lowballed everything and said, you know, this isn't a money grab. This is something, and we want to help kids that really don't have any other means to do it. And we'll never turn anybody away. You don't have money, you know what? You want this stuff? Let's go. Like,
there's been a couple boxing. There's been a couple boxing things that open up in my town that have done that over the years. Like, just give a kids a place to go. It doesn't matter. Hey, we got gloves, we got whatever you need. Just show up. Don't get in trouble, man. Stay here instead, kind of deal.
Yeah, and that's it. And the guy going in with me, he's a great kid that you know, we hope to kind of groom into that head coach again one day. And you know,
right on.
The dude's an absolute. You know, so he's built like a brick house, you know, and
a brick shit house.
Yeah, you know,
we're 14 minutes in. We can cuss now.
I was trying not to, you know, so I'm doing my best, right? Still a school employee, right?
Yeah.
Somebody sees this. He had a beer in his hand.
My mom's
chill out.
No, I know. My mom's a teacher, and there was years she was like, you posted a picture and it has me in it. Can you please take that off? It's like, whatever. But I get it. I do get it, especially nowadays after all the Photoshop wars me and my buddies had on, you know, over, you know, it can get scary. So.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
So, how did you get into coaching? Was that something you knew you wanted to do? You kind of fell into it, or did you always knew you wanted to work in education? Or
No, so I went to college and I was initially an accounting major, and then I was a programming minor. And
Okay.
after my freshman year, I changed it. My major ended up being computers and information systems, and I minored in accounting and finance. And I went to work. I have an uncle who lives in Raleigh in the RTP area, and
Hey, coming out of Raleigh.
so I went down there thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna find a job in RTP and just kind of go. And then everything that I was trying to find, like I couldn't even the entry level salaries, I wouldn't even be able to pay my student loans back on it.
Yeah, right.
Like, damn, like I can't do this. So I ended up moving back up here, and when you move back in with your parents, obviously, it's like when I graduated high school, I had the career win record at my high school, and
Oh wow.
the youth program was teetering at the time, and somebody from the youth organization reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in starting this youth program up?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" So I did it, and then the next year, my high school coach retired, and he reached out to me, retired from coaching, not teaching, but retired from coaching. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, you really consider applying for this?" I didn't think about it. I went in cold turkey to this interview, and I still don't know, looking back, how the hell I got it as a 23-year-old kid at the time, going to be a head high school coach as a 23-year-old, pretty much fresh out of college and trying to work in finance jobs before I got my first master's in teaching there. So it was something that I fell into, but at the same time, it was something, I guess, that you can look back and say that it was a little bit of a calling at times as well.
Yeah. I feel it.
But then, of course, being a director of technology in a district now, I spent my 10 years, 11 years teaching. I was teaching computer programming. So I was using the major I was in. And now, like, even outside of the athletic director role, which is such a cool job. And I got my administrative master's just to apply for that athletic director job. And I was lucky enough to get it and get into administration. But man, you could double my salary and put me back in that athletic director job, and I would put my resume out there that night. You couldn't pay me enough to go back to being a athletic director, because it's just, you're pleasing so many different masters. You have your superintendent, your business administrator, the principal of your building, right, who may have a vision on certain things, right? And then all your coaches essentially as well, because they're the masters of their own domains. And you're in charge of all the finances for everything. And man, God forbid somebody feels slighted, they go right above your head.
Right.
And then you would get the calls from the alumni from the 50s and the 60s that, they want an hour of your time at the, right before a game. And I'm like, dude, I gotta get a game off right now. Like, no, can you come in at 9 a.m? No, you're sleeping, you're retired. I'm sorry. Like, that's when I have available. There was a lot of that. And, with tech, it's great because I view a lot of my tech guys on my team too. Like technology, somebody says like, oh, programming, networking, technology. Like there's so many different aspects of it. It's like, you're not going to go to a general practitioner as a doctor to go treat your cancer. Right.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with technology, where just because you have a tech degree doesn't mean you know everything. But at the same time, like as a director, I kind of have to know a little bit of everything. But then I try to take something off of everybody's plate to help them, because I got people that like aren't people. They don't want to have those conversations with people. They want to be like, behind the scenes. And then I got others who thrive off of like that. I'm going to go into this classroom and that classroom, and you try to put people at their strengths in that case. But, I think my end game is to be a school superintendent one day. Who knows where it's going to be? My wife would love to retire down in South Carolina. And, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law live down there. Damon knows I'm going down there next week for spring break. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law live in Longs, which is probably about an hour away from him. Right. I told him I'm going to take a drive out to that Buc-ee's, because I've never been to that Buc-ee's, and I want to check it out. So Damon's about 15 minutes away from there, so he might have lunch with me that day.
We're gonna make it happen.
I'm gonna make that happen.
That's right.
I might
Hey,
have.
I'm not gonna promise you,
Buc-ee's.
grade A food, but I mean, we're gonna have a good time.
Hey,
What do you mean grade
it's all
A
about
food?
that.
Hey, man, it's gas station food.
You know what? Some of the best.
Oh well, yeah.
food
I thought you were
is
talking
from
about your
holes in the
food.
wall.
Mm-mm. Talking about that place that we were just talking about. We're not
Buc-ee's.
gonna name no more. Yeah, that place.
Yeah, we don't talk about it much around here.
Yeah.
One of those places that it's like a tourist trap for you guys, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it's turned into. It don't matter what day of the week you go, it's always 400 people there.
It's similar when you think about Philly. Like I'm close to Philly, right? And Johnsy alluded to it earlier with Jersey. There's two very distinct parts of New Jersey. There's
This
a
is
part
a
of New
real thing,
Jersey,
folks.
yeah. There's a part of New Jersey that thinks they're from New York, and there's a part of Jersey that thinks they're from Philadelphia. All that Central Jersey shit, it doesn't exist, right? Even Central Jersey thinks they're from New York. And there's a line right there. And by the way, it's the same line that calls pork roll the right thing and pork roll Taylor ham. You bologna loving people down south that want to spit on pork roll.
Exactly what we're eating.
Whatever, right? But
I'm bringing you a big old thick piece of bologna sandwich. That's what we're gonna do.
Who? Oh, him? Yeah.
Big old thick. You know, it's so much saltier than bologna, man. It's like cured differently and saltier. You got to get. I'm gonna have to bring you some pork rolls. We're gonna do an exchange. We're gonna do an exchange.
We're trade. We're
gonna do a total exchange. And you just got to pan fry that thing, put that thing on a bagel with some egg and cheese, and call it a day, right?
I don't get it, man. I just don't get the fascination with it. I don't care if it's pork roll, Taylor ham, bologna. I don't know. Whatever it is, I just don't get it. And I just love that a state like has a defined line over that like gets us like, this is fucking awesome.
There's a defined line, right? There is. And internally we'll fight like days over it. But man, don't, somebody comes at our state, we're all together too, So it's crazy, But I'm from the part that thinks we're from Philly, hence all the Philly stuff back here, right? Attic man cave, Philadelphia, Philly stuff. We started off 0-2. I don't know how we're doing right now, but it's a long season for baseball. Long season. We had a couple, handful of second place finishes up here in Philly. It
was a good run. It was a good run.
Yeah. Always next year.
Memories I'll never forget with my stepson, my 16-year-old son. That we got to go to games. We went to the clincher against the Braves, clincher against the Padres. We didn't get a chance to get to the World Series game, but it was memories I'll never forget. That
was about.
The first one, the clincher against the Braves, was on my dad's birthday, or it was, I think it was a clincher against the Braves. It was on my dad's birthday, and he passed away in 2007. And I was reflecting a lot on that day, and that's what sports does. I think, no matter what team we're fans of, it'll bring you together, and you always have a lot of great family memories, and those are memories I'll never forget with my son.
Oh yeah, those are the real life experiences that matter. Hell yeah. So real quick, we're gonna get off the school stuff and everything for a little bit, but we got some questions from the audience. T. Carmack is asking me to ask you if you miss drinking Lion's Head beer with the Riddles.
I'll be honest with you. I've drank a lot of beer in my life, a lot of different beers. I love different, trying to taste different things, and especially the local microbrews that are popping up all over the place around here. But I don't think I've ever had a Lion's Head. I'll be straight with you. I don't think I've ever had a Lion's Head. I'm gonna go to the store before we leave for South Carolina, and it's gonna be one of those things that I gotta do before I come back on here again. So that way I actually have an answer, right? So I can't miss something I've never had.
There it is. Well, hey, there it is. We got another one. What's your position on Scrapple?
Scrapple is a gift from the gods.
Oh, yeah. See, Adventures knows, but he's from the part of Jersey that believes he's from PA. So
Yeah,
let's
from
so
Philly.
explain what scrapple is to everybody, and then tell us why it's a gift from the heavens.
It's just, pan-fried amazingness. Just think about all the shit they don't put in hot dogs, and it all goes into scrapple. It's
For sure.
my dad was such a huge scrapple. My dad grew up in South Philly, and a lot of stories and everything that we used to get because he grew up across the street from Connie Mack Stadium, which was the old baseball stadium
Oh
before
shit!
the
Yeah,
Met
yeah.
and before Citizens Bank Park,
Dude,
and it was all the stories he had from that and everything. And I'll tell you something, scrapple was like a Sunday thing in the house growing up. Scrapple was one of those things, man. He was all about that. It just one of those things that like you smell. I can smell it right now without even having to smell it, and it's one of those things that brings you back to your childhood a little bit, right? So,
do you know what it is, Damon?
Yes, indeed.
I've never had the pleasure.
I have not eaten it, but I've heard stories, and the story was enough.
Right.
between
like the old, they used to say that the Jersey Turnpike shot was when the bartender put their rag on the bar and rinsed it out into a shot glass, right? So I guess it's similar.
I forgot about that.
I think technically it's what, like a bunch of pork scraps, right? And I think it's got like cornmeal and stuff.
Yeah, just got to have a binder.
Yeah. So, it's like, hey, read, folks. Hey, right here. Look, hey, I won't eat scrapple. Read the ingredients on the hot dogs. Read the ingredients on all that like stuffed meat stuff.
You want to go hot dog, right? So I was scrolling through Instagram today. I mean, hell, we all are, right? And
what's that? What's Instagram?
What's that? Like every fourth or fifth post, there's an ad that comes up. So it was a Major League Baseball ad, and it was all about hot dogs, different hot dogs at different stadiums throughout the country.
That's an actual foodie topic, by the way.
And one of them, and I saved the post to go back to it later.
Okay.
Because I think it was in Cleveland, and Tony's gonna have to pop on and get on this, right? But I saw somebody putting like Fruit Loops on a hot dog. And I'm like, what in the hell? And it was in this Major League Baseball post. I kid you not. I'm going to have to share it with you. I saved it just so I could. I just want to have one of those. What's that account? The Corey B thing where he duets something, somebody doing something. He's like, what in the heart attack shit is this? And then he goes and does
it. Yeah. That guy's great, dude.
Good,
what in the diabetic coma is this?
Yeah. Oh, that account cracks me up. There's a handful of accounts like that crack me to hell.
Dude, who's really Fruit Loops on a hot dog? I just don't get it, man.
I'm telling you, find it. I didn't have a chance to Google it because I spent a lot of time with the toddlers today and everything, and I just the whole conversation kind of put me there. And I just remembered I saved that today, and now I got to check that out.
So this is a solid question from the audience, especially after how the first part of the show is gone and you talking about everything. When does Dirty have time to barbecue anything?
I'll tell you. So a lot of the content, I mean, moving forward, right? I have Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays that I can cook and do everything. Now, like even today, like I cooked, breakfast and dinner, and we just had leftovers from last night for lunch. But
hey,
it's nothing wrong with that. Hell, I gotta start eating out of the freezer pretty soon, or otherwise my wife might cut me off a little bit there.
Straight up.
I got a whole freezer full of stuff that I gotta start eating out of. Not gonna be able to get a chance to do it before spring break when we go away, but it was harder during wrestling season, I'll tell you, because I think it's every content creator's nightmare. I don't have like a full area in the backyard where it's like my wife is addicted to tattoos. She's got a bunch of them, right? I'm addicted to grills. I got 7. So, but they're all in different spots, and it's like I don't have that big ass concrete slab with a cover and everything like that. That's one of those things I want to do. But when you get home in the winter, and wrestling is a winter sport, even if you get home at like 5, 6 o'clock, it's already dark, and you're like, damn, how am I going to film this shit? And that gets tough, and you start filming. I think you see a lot of stuff from the inside cuts and everything like that during those seasons versus like the actual process of everything outside. Like you might have some reels where it's like you see them getting put on, but man, you don't really see it getting taken off because it's way too damn dark.
That's
and
right.
I got I'm still working on the same tripod that I got probably over a year ago. I broke that thing and super glued it 3 different times, but it's got like a light attached to it too.
My man.
I'm partially cheap as hell in a sense, right? I mean, when you got 4 kids in the house and everything, you gotta be.
That's right.
It's family first at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, like if you're not getting 2 or 3 posts or 2 or 3 reels out of every cook, like you're doing it wrong. You could get like a charcoal shot for your charcoal sponsor in the beginning, and you could get like your seasoning people, doing a before and after shot, right? And then you could do the internal cut reveal reel, right? But then you could put it all together in one too. You get 4 or 5 reels out of one cook, and then I forget who. I think you guys said Britt was on here earlier. I don't know if she's still on here, but I remember there's a chat that Damon and I are a part of. An East Coast barbecue guys chat, and obviously Britt, the lady, right? That's in there. But she shared something in there from an account that said something about like only 10 to 15% of your actual audience of your followers sees your post the first time you post it. So 4 months, 5 months later, go back and repost that. One of my biggest hitting posts was a repost. It was something that all I did was like 6 months later, I put a different music in the background, and that was it. And the first time around, it might have gotten a couple thousand views, everything like that, which is great. That next time it's hitting a couple 100,000, everything like that. I'm like, wow, what was the difference?
I got it. Okay.
Nothing was different. It was the apple pie baked beans. So it was that one. So that got like a couple thousand views the first time, and then it hit like hundreds of thousands the second time. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That on TikTok too, and I'm like, I can't believe this one's blowing up. And that's when I learned when I was at the Myron Mixon School in Georgia. He did it with like apple pie. He did it with peach pie. He did like so many different things. Yeah. So, I was lucky enough to go down there. Like my family, kind of all chipped in and paid for me to go down there and everything. And it was like a birthday thing, and it was like an amazing thing out of COVID. Just to be able to do all that, met some amazing people. T. Carmack, you got to send me a message, man. Ricky, my man.
Yeah.
But those apple pie baked beans, like my family, whenever we do a big family get together, I know I have to smoke those apple pie baked beans because it's just something that everybody wants. And if I don't do it, man, I won't hear the end of it. And it's so easy. It's so easy. You throw some seasoning in there, but it's basically like 2 parts beans, so 1 part of the pie mix, the pre-made pie mix. And you throw some seasoning in there, some pimento if you like a little bit of spice, stuff like that. But it's simple stuff that I just would have never thought of till I went down there,
Yeah, but the country's yearning for stuff like that, like with the prices of stuff and people not knowing what they're doing so much, because we lived in like you could get anything you needed forever, and then all of a sudden for 2 years everything was shut down and everybody scrambled, and now people are like, well, hey man, like this is kind of better than eating that crap every day, but I still don't know what I'm doing. And then they find guys like that, like making simple stuff, but to them, like you said, when you say it, like you're like apple pie baked beans, they're like, did you see that on the Food Network? Where was that from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you're like, no, man, it's a can of Bush, a can of apple pie filling, like put a little bit. And people like, they freak out off that because they're like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
It's just, simple that stuff. I look for stuff that I can feed my family with, and that's it. Plain and simple. You don't see me cooking A5 Wagyu. You don't see me cooking fancy ass shit. It's stuff I got to make sure that my 5-year-old or my 6-year-old, my 4-year-old still eat.
Dude,
I got to make sure I still eat it.
That's
That's the biggest struggle.
We all have our
for those with young kids,
right? Like, and we were talking about it earlier. We're all picky in our own sense, right? We all have our own taste palettes, and like Damon and I were talking earlier. Like, if there's a couple foods, whether it's condiments, foods, whatever, that you absolutely hate that everybody else loves, what would they be, right? Like, what would
I got my first two for sure.
I got mine.
White rice, I love rice, but plain rice, none. It doesn't matter what you do to it. I just can't. And beans, no beans.
See, you couldn't do the apple pie baked beans.
No, not at all. It sounds because like I grew up on beanies and weenies, can of beans and hot dogs chopped up in it.
Yeah.
Right. And I would just pick the hot dogs out. Now, the juice of all that stuff tastes good, but I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I eat green beans and I eat lima beans, and that just that blows people away. You don't eat beans?
Yeah.
Can't. I literally can't.
I'll give you my three.
My three. I don't know what a third one would be right off the top of my head.
That's what I said. I don't know.
You got your three locked and loaded?
I got my three locked and loaded.
Let's go.
Number one most hated food, and people are gonna unfollow me over this. All right.
Let's go.
Pickles, number one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely hate pickles. Damon just unfollowed me over it, right?
And blocked you.
Absolutely hate pickles.
I can't even be here. That's crazy to me.
But yeah, he can't do beans, right? I hate mayo.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate mayo. Give me spicy mustard all day long. Give me spicy mustard all day long. I hate mayo.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
That's even better. Your sandwich is getting better throughout the day.
If I have to, number three, you know what? We're gonna go, instead of barbecue-ish area, we're gonna go a little different here. Coconut. I hate coconut.
There it is. That's my third as well. I
can't
stand it.
All those people that
use coconut oil.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I use coconut oil for cooking, but yeah, that's absolutely it. No shavings in my. Oh, my dad's favorite cake is German chocolate with that coconut frosting, and I just look at it every year and go, God, how can you eat that nastiness?
Jeez, man.
I'm waiting for
What's
the
your three, Damon?
over that.
Well, I'm trying to think of three. Only one I can really think off the top of my head without getting too hard is dang liver. Like, I can't stand liver.
Yeah.
So pork or beef, I don't like liver. Or like any of the organs like hearts or chicken livers or gizzards.
If it came down to any of the things that we talked about, I mean, I hate liver. But I'm for sure eating liver before I ever eat beans.
Oosh.
That is a 100% fact.
Yeah.
Put it to you this way, folks. Yes, Surströmming, I know, tastes nastier than beans. I understand that. I ate those bites of Surströmming for $200. We got to start adding zeros at the end of that for me to eat beans. Like that.
See Robert Rose, a race out there saying ranch, man. What's that account where the dude just goes out and he waves a ranch bottle at everything that gets cooked? Calphobia. You got to follow that.
Oh,
yeah.
Robert.
Robert couldn't be Calphobia. He couldn't hang out with Calphobia. Black licorice. Oh my God. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That might be above coconut. Black licorice.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Ooh, we got a really good question from the audience for you, Eric.
Since the tri-state isn't known as a barbecue region, plenty of local barbecue spots in the tri-state area. What, if at all, tri-state barbecue can exactly? You know what? That's tough because when you think about barbecue in the United States, you think about like there's the Texas style where you have like the salt, pepper, garlic, right? That straight Texas style. You have the Carolina style, which has a lot of vinegar aspect to it. and then you got the tomato based type Kansas City, St. Louis type style type stuff, and I can appreciate all of them for what they're worth, right? I don't know if I necessarily have like the Jersey has like a quote unquote style. There's a lot of barbecue spots around here, and I feel like the best ones, the ones with the biggest followings, when you talk about like Sweet Lucy's in Philly, and stuff like that they do like a Texas style, but then they have their different style sauces and condiments and stuff that kind of come with it, and they just don't go one style. Like when I think about when I went out to Kansas City, we want to go kind of full circle there. When I went out to Kansas City right before COVID hit, I think 2 weeks later the shutdown happened. And I went out to that wrestler that went out to Kansas and was a 4-time NAI All-American. I was going out for his senior night. So I went out there and I said, I'm going out. I'm going to Gates. I'm going to Joe's. I'm going to Arthur Bryant's and everything, and hit all those spots. Absolutely loved it. But then I sit there and I'm like, the best sauce that I ever had on like burnt ends, brisket, was always that Arthur Bryant stuff. Like I loved Arthur Bryant's for that. But then like Joe's and Gates and everything like that, I love the stuff that they had on pork.
Right.
So I think it's like, it really depends on the type of meat and the type of taste profile you have too. That's a tough one. I guess one of these days I'm gonna have to really start dabbling in sauces and come up with a Jersey profile, a South Jersey profile. Nobody take this idea, but I guess if I do this, I'll just have to do, based upon the Jersey Turnpike and exits, right? Where exit 1 would be the furthest south, exit 20 or something is the furthest north. The sweetest ones are down south because that's where we are, and then the spicier ones are up north. That's where we're gonna go with that. So nobody take the exit. Nobody take the exit idea. I'm trademarking that right now.
I mean, that's like the same thing about California. Everybody like, well, what is California? Like, yeah, they say the Santa Maria style, right? But it's really just open fire cooking. You just raise it up and down. I mean, that's how cooking began. So
yeah,
I wouldn't even know how to begin to there's no flavor profile for West Coast barbecue. We were the last ones to the party, so we're like, yeah, we're just gonna do it better than you guys, and we've been trying ever since, I guess.
That's right.
Robert says, "Are those flags Dirty's wins years?" Nah, this is a whole Philadelphia Phillies attic up here. So these are all giveaways. Those were all giveaways from pennant years at games that I went to, and I guess we're gonna have to get one for the World Series. You got to go over there. I'll have to move everything over, right?
I was gonna say you got to move them all now.
Gonna have to do all that. Big Phillies fan, a big Baltimore Orioles fan too. I was always a huge Cal Ripken fan growing up. But,
absolutely, he was a legend.
I try to go down to Baltimore a couple times a year and catch a game there. But I'm a big baseball fan. I've been to like 16 active stadiums. And I want to be able to get to all of them.
Right.
I want to be able to get to all of them. I love baseball. There's wrestling season and baseball season.
So when does wrestling season ever end?
It never ends. It's like barbecue season. It's like barbecue season. It never ends.
Because it's just like any other sport these days. It's like you got spring ball, summer ball, then you play fall ball. So I mean, the seasons never end for sports anymore.
No, and that's what the whole club thing is in a sense. Where my son has been doing freestyle clubs and everything for a while, as long as he's wanted to do it. I think that's the big thing in youth sports is so many times a lot of parents try to live vicariously through their kids and push them harder than they ever should be pushed or want to be pushed, when they should be developing their love for a sport or love for exercise to be able to when they get that fire lit under them on their own, and then they say, "Hey, Dad, can I do this?" Or, "Hey, Mom, can you take me to this?" That's when you know you did it right. Instead of, "Oh, this is the way I was coached," or "This coach did this," or "This coach did that." No, it's all about you take every kid individually, and there's a way to reach every single kid. Maybe that's the educator in me. There's a way to reach every single kid. Not every kid has the same style. I was a lightweight wrestler, right? So I wrestled 125 and 133 in college. I'm like a $155 now, and it's I don't wrestle the same way a heavyweight wrestles, right?
Damn, I'm like 100 pounds bigger than you.
But I still hit the mat, and I still I still
that's
wrestle.
badass, dude.
It's like I can still do it. I don't do it nearly as much as I used to because I'm 2 back surgeries in. But two L5 discectomies in 2012 and 2014. 2012 and 2014. So it's been a while. But my brother's a neurosurgeon, and he keeps telling me the next one's going to be a fusion, so I got to watch myself. So
yeah. Well, I was told, how old am I now? I was told that in my teens, before I hit 20, that I was a good candidate for back surgery, and I was like, dude, everything I had heard, I was like, no way, I'm doing that this young. I'll just wait.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. I live with a certain level of pain. It's just that's how it is when you have back problems.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you need surgery or if it's just out of alignment a little bit. That's where your whole nervous system runs through. So
True.
That was 2 years in a row. That's back to back.
Every other year. It was 2012. It was the year I started dating my wife. 2012, I got the first one. And look, if she stuck around after that, I knew she was the one.
You knew she was
she was a keeper for school.
Here's the Mrs. Dirty Jersey right there.
Cheers to Jess, right?
Yeah, for real.
But 2014, it was the same spot. So I don't know. I wish I had a good story about how it happened or what happened. I don't have a good story for it. Be able to say I threw it out doing this or I did that. But the second one was worse than the first one. The first one, really wasn't that bad. The second one, I went back a little too early because I thought I knew what I was doing because of the first one, and ended up getting a big infection in the back. And they probably had to play Dr. Pimple Popper on the back with that because it was apparently pretty bad and it was painful. They don't numb you up for that.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
It was rough, but after that, it's fine. It's Reading Terminal Market. That's 10 minutes away from where I work. Ukulele Jay, who was here last week on this show, I met him at Reading Terminal Market. It's 10 minutes from where I work. So he was there, and we had lunch there at the Nick's roast beef and everything, and that was a great time. And Jay's an awesome dude. He's in another chat I'm in, and everything.
Yeah, he is.
You're sitting there. Robert says something about not being, has to go to Philly and everything like that. When you think about a Philly, it says 2:00 in the morning sandwich pubs or whatever, right? So he's probably talking about the cheesesteak spot, the corner. That's essentially the tourist trap. We were talking about the tourist trap for the other spot, right? In Philly, that corner is the tourist trap. That's the worst cheesesteaks you could have. And you don't go to that spot.
Yeah. If you follow Dirty, he showed you where the best place is a little while ago back with Tony.
For sure.
So, Tony came out and he's doing some work out here, and he was in Camden, probably about 10 minutes away from where I work, and he's like, hey, you want to do lunch? I'm like, I have exactly the spot. So we went to Donkey's Cheesesteaks. If you Google Donkey's in Camden, that's a spot that Anthony Boudrein went and absolutely loved. Said that the best cheesesteaks, the best Philly cheesesteaks are actually over the river in Jersey, right? So absolutely love, that spot. And I get to go there once a month or so. And it's always good. It's like a small hole in the wall, man. Pats and Geno's are absolute.
I knew you'd love that one.
Absolute trash. And the sad part is I used to really like Jim's also, which is on South Street. And Camden is sketchy. Yeah, I get that. I grew up, not for nothing, I grew up in Pensacola, which is right next to Camden, right? Okay. So Camden doesn't scare me, right? When I did a 4-stadium loop with my stepson before COVID. And one of the stadiums we went to is Detroit. And we were just walking around Detroit. Now, look, am I walking down 8 Mile? No.
No, yeah, of course not.
But it doesn't scare. And look, there's Camden, just like any other city in any other spot in the world. There's spots you go to, and there's spots that you don't.
Yeah.
And like I studied abroad when I was in college in Belfast, Northern Ireland, which is like big war area, right? My senior year, because I couldn't wrestle. So it's like big area. So I went to college at King's and Wilkes-Barre, and then I studied abroad for a year at Queen's, ironically, in Belfast. And like the whole like area, you take the black taxi tours where you go to both sides, and it's like all the girls and everything. Insane. But even that, like, there was no spots in Belfast where I felt unsafe, even just like walking around. Like, maybe it's because of where I grew up and everything, and I don't know. But there's spots where you go to and spots that you don't. You just got to be smart. You got to have that social smartness to you, in a sense, right? And you get that with traveling. You learn a lot about yourself when you go and board a plane over to a different country with nobody that you know. And you're by yourself for a semester or a year or whatever, the area. So the area by Comerica, Ricky just said that. I just see that there, right? The area by Comerica is sketchy, right? So we got there, and it's not that it's sketchy, right? So it's all business, and there's like a court system that's like right there too. All the stadiums are there, and it's all business areas too, right? So we got there a day that there wasn't a game. So after we got back to the hotel, after my son and I went out to eat, we're looking out the window, and it's like a ghost town out there. And that's what was a little weird, because I'm like, this is the middle of a city. It's just like nothing. But then the next day, it was crazy over there. It was hopping, So, it was different the day of a game versus the day not of a game around Comerica. But Comerica was actually a beautiful park. Like the spots that were around there, the history behind it, the tour that they have, a lot of stuff that they have from like Cobb, Killebrew, and everything. Like, I always do the stadium tour when I go to a new stadium, and a lot of the history they have there is insane. It's definitely one you got to go to. You can't knock it off the.
No, I love that old. Hey, bro, trust me, I don't give a shit. I'm from California, bro. I was born in Southern California. Like, I moved during the Rodney King riots. Like, I saw some shit. Like, it is what it is. Like, I was watching a city fall apart. When we were leaving, there were cops with AKs on every corner. Like, it is what it is. You just don't go to a place where you're not supposed to be. And but I love that the old histories of towns and stuff like that. That I love that stuff. Old stadiums. I would. Yeah. And the reason I'm getting all fanboyish is because over on the East Coast, it's so much older, and those stadiums and towns and the parks. And I'm a huge outdoor guy. Love outdoor parks. Have been there for years.
Yeah. It's a lot of great stuff. Stuff. I see a couple of comments on here that I even want to address as I'm scrolling.
Go ahead, man.
What is it? Adventures of a Home
Cook
in the Scranton area. I don't know how old Adventures of a Home Cook is, but obviously I went to school at King's in Wilkes-Barre. We used to wrestling in Scranton. I got to ask her, because the place is shut down. Have you ever been to Tinks? Tinks is like local legend stuff out there. Scranton is where they film The Office, or base The Office, right? But that's a lot of those references there, like the Froggy 101 references and all this. It's like it brings me back to some of those college stuff. I gotta know, if you ever been to Tinks, man. Tinks was the spot up in Scranton back in the day. And then I see one. What's his? T. Carmack.
You got to watch out for T. Carmack. That guy brings heaters to the comments.
Nah, and you know what? This is a really good question. This one's really good, and I'll even be straight with it.
Is this the one right here?
Yeah, that's it.
I was gonna pull it up. Yeah.
Yeah, you can intro it, but that's deep. And that's going to get deep, right? Because
we'll read it because we do put these on podcast platforms. So we'll read
Audio.
it. T. Carmack's asking Eric, with how successful and busy you are as a husband, father, son, employee, coach, mentor, etc., how do you find the time to be the best version of yourself, and what do you do to amplify / and recharge or reset yourself? That is an incredible question.
It's incredible, and it's deep. And I think first things first, I think I got to say that she said she danced in the cages at Tinks. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, love Tinks. Yeah, I was gonna pull that up for you after. I didn't want to distract you, but you got it.
I gotta hide the comments on that side. It's gonna crack me up. But with that question there, I think first and foremost that you come out and say that I think I struggle with my own self-confidence just as much, if not more than anybody. And I go through my own mental funks and my own mental depressions and my own, just kind of self-doubt times. I'm going through a big one, even opening up this wrestling academy this week. And my wife, she's I was a college wrestler. She's a 2nd degree black belt. I keep saying that my 6-year-old is going to be the next Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Or Chuck Norris.
Who knows, right? But we were talking about overthinking, and I overthink everything. And I have my own moments of self-doubt. Like, am I good enough for this? Am I doing the right thing with this? I think every man's, and not to make it like a man-woman thing, but I think in my head, my biggest fear is not being enough for my wife and my family and my kids. And I always doubt, like, sometimes, like, if I am enough. But then I think how you find time to be that best version of yourself and resetting yourself and recharging to amplify. I mean, look, sleep is one thing, but learning to put your family first before everything. And I learned it the hard way. When I was in that athletic director role, it took everything out of me, and I hated the person that I was becoming. And this career change to that directorship, even though it's the American dream, right? I got a promotion with more money, and I got to spend more time with my family because it was less nighttime hours. That's the American dream. Sign me up, right? But I think being able to sometimes, my wife tells me all the time, like, you need to look around and see what you have. And, you have, like, this amazing family with this roof over your head, and you feed your family. And yes, sometimes it's not easy. I saw a meme the other day on Facebook, and it was like that image of the guy with his face down and the wife and the kids hugging him. And it was like, no matter what you do, no matter how much time you have, no matter how much, work you put into everything, if you have 4 kids, you're always going to be in poverty. And it just kind of made me laugh a little bit, because it was like, you start to, and it's like self-perceived.
Right.
Yeah. It's nothing like, I'm not like, it's all self-perceived. And I think we all get in our own heads. But I think that when there's a lack of communication sometimes, even with ourselves, that it's human nature for negativity to fill that void in communication. And if you're not telling yourself, and if you're not filling your head with those positive thoughts, because those negative thoughts will eat you alive, and they do it to everybody. And I'm as guilty as anybody with it. But just being able to train yourself and to have that mindset, and to be able to reset with that positive stuff and that family, those kids, and the things that make you smile. Like, the best time in my day, every single time, is when I come home from work and the kids yell, "Daddy," and they run to the door. Like, that is that moment. If I could take how I feel in that moment and amplify that 1,000,000 times, that's like, that's where I want to be every day. Right. went to Woodlands at least once. I bet. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. More than once. More than once. Went to the Woodlands more times than I can count.
Apparently, of Adventures of a Home Cook is a fan of Woodlands too.
Yeah. So I graduated Kings in 03. So Woodlands was the spot at that point. And, and Old Time Charlie's for karaoke night. You got to go Old Time Charlie's for karaoke night. If anybody remembers that up there. T. Carmack and Adventures of an Old Cook,
Oh boy.
So,
hey, you said wrestling coach and tech and athletic director. I was sure you weren't the school counselor ever.
Nah, I
Okay.
never was never the school counselor. Nah, I was never the school counselor. But I guess you can always say that a teacher and a coach sometimes does play that.
Hey, no, dude, seriously,
half role.
coaches,
So
coaches for sure play both roles. Absolutely, good coaches, good coaches.
Yeah, our high school football coach, he was the vice principal. So,
and we're in a larger district. A lot of times you see that as the
Yeah,
small,
yeah.
you see it. So I help coach now. I can't be a head coach anymore because I'm an administrator in the district.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
We had a coach come in this year. The athletic director had changed some things, and he brought in a new head wrestling coach, and the guy was interviewing with the athletic director and the superintendent. And I'm very close with the superintendent, and actually coaches kids in wrestling and everything. And the guy, to his credit, he was a D3 national champ. We got along. He's a guidance counselor in the school, actually. And when they said they wanted him to be the coach, he said, "Okay, but you got to bring Eric back." The superintendent was like, "I think I could do that." We work really well together. I love working with him. He's an amazing, amazing coach, an amazing person. He's somebody I wish I had throughout my coaching career, and I can't say enough about the guy.
That's how our swimming and water polo coach was, Steve Fever, man. I mean, he's passed now a few years ago, but they built a whole new pool and stuff, named it after him. And I mean, like the dude would. There's one time he sat us all down before practice and lectured us, and it was like the most resounding. Like I'll never forget that speech he gave, and it was about sunscreen.
Yeah.
But it was like he's like, "Hey, man, if you're gonna spend this much time in the sun, you need to protect yourself." He talked about how he had a couple things removed off his arms. I mean, the dude, he played in college and then had been coaching since, and I had him when he had been coaching 35, 36 years. So the dude had seen a lot of sun. And it was just like the way he talked to you and would talk about stuff that he was serious about was just like, you're just like enthralled sitting. And I'll never forget the guy. And we were a rowdy bunch, man. Turlock was like known for how rowdy we were. And like, we were like the version of like the jocks that were like just drunks and stoners in high school, but we would show up and win tournaments and win games in water polo and smash at swim comps and there was one of our guys, he smoked like a pack a day in high school and broke 35-year-old swimming records. We were just like savages.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we were just beasts, and like we would get in trouble all the time, right? And he was real strict with us. Like he'd bench us whole tournaments. Didn't matter if you were the one who won, or the only one who could play against this team or blah, blah, blah. It didn't matter. He was like life lesson, like, listen, you don't get to get away with nothing. And then I remember one time, dude, we were coming back from a school and we were like, I flicked a bottle cap out the window and it perfectly sailed into this lady's car. And it wasn't like, she wasn't close to getting into an accident, but she was like, ah, and it could have been crazy,
Yeah.
And some guys did some other stuff and this and that. And we, Me and one other guy got suspended for it. It was like they made a big deal out of it, right? And so they're like, we haven't told your coach. You have to go tell him. And me and this dude are like, nah, listen, like, you suspended us. We're leaving now. You got to go tell him. Like, I'm not going to tell Fever that. No way.
Yeah.
And like I went and told him, like, and I'm sitting here, I'm waiting for him to like morph into a dragon, like old school Mortal Kombat, and bite me in half, right? And he laughs and says, he's like, man, he's like, sometimes we just do dumb stuff. And it was like, when you needed him to be cool, it was just like, you can't. That's why I'm like getting at. Like, you guys play such that line between like a coach, a mentor, a friend, a counselor. You know, like it's just a neat role.
Honestly, there's a good one, T. Carmack. I'll bite on this one. You could
Which
bring
one's
that one up, the most
the last
recent
one?
I'll bite on that one.
Did you see the other one? He had
I
another
didn't
one.
see the other one. I didn't see it. I have to scroll up.
Okay.
So I'll bite on this one. What's the biggest difference in how I was coached versus how I coach now? And I think the big difference there, and I'll bite on it because I have a direct answer for this, is using conditioning as a punishment. I feel like, take wrestling, for example. Wrestling shape is completely different than other things, right? But I'm not saying that sprints and warm-up jogs and certain things don't have their place. But I'm not going to sit there if you're acting up and do nothing but do sprints with you, because that's not going to build. Yeah, okay, it might get in your mind like, oh, coach is making us do sprints. Like, no, it's stupid. I'm conditioning you, and I'm going to make you not love the actual conditioning aspect of the practice. Where I can get the same level of conditioning in by doing a sports specific drill, doing a base drill in wrestling, doing certain drills in wrestling, where it's like, I'll build your skill level up while also conditioning the living crap out of you. So there's like a big difference in there where it's like, there's going to be a method to the madness versus just madness. Right. Yeah. So it's, and I also think that, like, if you disappoint your coach, everything like that, if you coach the right way and you build the right relationships with your kids, they'll know when you're disappointed. And you won't have to raise your voice. You won't have to do anything. Like, I get frustrated just like anybody else. But I think one of the more interesting probably things about me, it never really would come up in conversation, but I'll throw it out there, is I have an autoimmune disease called Addison's disease. So my adrenal glands don't work at all. So when you think about like somebody getting hyped up for a match, things like that doesn't happen to me, right?
Crazy.
Like, so like adrenaline, like, I don't know that. I don't know that. So I'm always kind of like on that level playing field in a sense, but I can still get frustrated and pissed off and all that stuff, right? Don't get me wrong, but it takes a lot more kind of to get me to that level. So I try to be like logical in certain senses. And I think that kind of helps me professionally. I think it definitely helps me as a husband and father. Definitely. I'm sure there's some times that my wife will tell you that she just wants to pick a fight, but it's, dude, and I love her to death.
Yeah. I think, man, I kind of wish
the ethos is be present, not perfect. Be present, not perfect. And you want to talk about Northeast Pennsylvania? You know where I got it from? There was a manager, a Major League Baseball manager from Northeast Pennsylvania that was a manager of the Cubs when they won it all. It's Joe Madden. And it's one of those Madden. Be present, not perfect. And it's in coaching and everything. Like, I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to be present.
Yeah, that is a great. That applies to no matter what you're doing.
Asking you to be. And that's
man, I feel like we've been in like a cool therapy podcast more than like a foodie show. Welcome to Sunday nights. We switch it up on you. We're here to save your life.
I'm gonna watch. My handle will be switched tomorrow. It'll be like, instead of dirty jersey, it'll be dirty motivational or motivation barbecue.
Dr. Dirty motivating.
I'm gonna have to do sessions on my couch, right? So
right, yeah.
Hey, there's your side money.
Hey, yeah.
Everybody needs a side hustle.
Of you,
OnlyFans only works
laying on your couch. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not cool with posting my feet, and I'm definitely not taking my clothes off for you. So this is it, folks. Help me out.
Johnsy, if I could pay my mortgage every month showing my feet, I would do it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not below anything.
Hey, look. There's a few things I won't do.
All right. I'm not gonna.
There's a few things I'll never do. There's a ton of things I'll never do again, and then there's plenty of things I'll do for a certain amount of money. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Or not for, dude. I don't want to just say I'm just a whore for money.
Yeah.
But to get rid of certain things that just hang over your head as an adult, like mortgage and bills and stuff, if that was just taken care of because I posted, 4 pictures a week of my feet, dude, whatever people are doing with them, you know what, I don't care. My house is paid for. Like, I don't have to work anymore.
True.
That'd be nice,
So,
that'd be nice. But, of course, the mortgage is due. I guess tomorrow, right? So.
Yeah. So next month maybe. Or like we always say here on the Dude Network, next year's our year.
That's right. Always next year.
It's like every team's mantra, like, hey, there's always next year, fellas. We got this. Unless you killed it like we did.
Every team but one gets to say that every year, right? Every team but
you're right. So do you guys have any problems over there of like private schools that what's the word I'm looking for? Scout for really good talent and pull them in. And
yeah, I mean, I think anywhere you always have the recruitment aspect of it, and the recruitment aspect of high school sports, where you're promising these little kids the world, and
it blows my mind they do that to high schoolers, man. Like,
it's worse than youth sports, Jonathan. It's worse than youth sports. You get middle school kids that parents that think that they're getting recruited by Penn State out there when that's not the case.
Yep.
Look, that's terrible.
Can you possibly get to a prep school? And look, there's some great wrestling schools in this area in Jersey.
Yes.
You go, Blair Academy, Bethlehem Catholic up in PA, in that Lehigh Valley area and everything. And it's, you want to fall short of promising kids the world, because the thing is, I recruit a kid. Let's just say I'm at that private school, which I'm not. I'm at a public school. But let's just say I'm at that private school, and I'm promising Damon the world that he's going to be the next state champion heavyweight. Well, guess what? I'm saying that to the next 8th grader that I see that looks like him and everything. I'm recruiting his replacement every single year.
That's right.
And it's tough with that. And there's a lot of pay-to-play models, which I don't agree with. You want to
I don't agree with
get me on a tangent if we start talking about pay-to-play in AAU that you don't want to get me on, because I'll talk for hours. You want to do a youth sports show, that'll be the night. But that's
hey, we'll do one. We'll put one together. There's a platform for that. That needs to be talked about. I agree with that.
Yeah. But there's, youth sports can be insane. You get people promising kids the world when they really shouldn't be. And
that's like you're filthier than a car salesman, man. Like, God, that's disgusting, dude. At that age, to me, that's just.
I'm sure there's honest car salesmen out there too.
That's hilarious.
But Hell, I did, my brother-in-law is does finance at a dealership. And the reason why I almost wasn't able to get down to to South Carolina this week, Damon, was the family vehicle. Yeah, everybody has to have a family vehicle with a family of 6, right?
Yeah.
We're the minivan family. We're the minivan family with that, and another separate car. But the minivan, had an error, had an engine light that the second cylinder was misfiring, and it was going to be about a $3,000 fix, and I was not too hopeful about that. But
especially like you have vacation time.
Yeah, I know how much it means to my wife to get down there because her sister is down there, her cousin is down there. I enjoy the time down there, and I needed to make it happen. So we got rid of that one and got a different van, and the different van is taking the trip. So luckily we're in a spot where we're able to do that. So
Dude, minivans are highly underrated vehicles. I'm just saying, for their size, they're lightweight. Hey, I drove a Honda Odyssey in 2008 for a school district, right? Worked with special needs kids, and not while the kids were but it's like that. They were like real responsive, super comfortable. Minivans are underrated, folks. There's a lot of jokes about them, but hey, don't shoot them in the foot just yet.
Hey, look, I'm fine with that. I can say I'm married to the soccer mom. I'm good with it, but I drive it. I'm fine.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. So, hey, this is a foodie show. Not, it is a foodie show. It's supposed to be. We got some food questions now. So every week we get to determine a little bit more about T. Carmack, because he's a secretive mystery, but he's a good buddy. Yeah. So I'm guessing he has a family of 6. He said something about 4 kids. So Eric,
I have a family of 6. So
what go-to meals does your family put together for a family of 6?
The funny thing is the go-to meals generally aren't even necessarily for the family of 6. The go-to meals, like if I'm cooking barbecue-wise and everything, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law end up over, and my wife's other sister and her husband end up over.
And randomly the neighbors are like, hey, decided to stop by.
my one neighbor, everybody has that one neighbor that when they see him light up the grill, they go, oh shit, I got to go out there and light up mine now. This is a contest now, right?
Right.
So my one neighbor's an older dude, right? So my one neighbor to the one side of me is actually my high school physics teacher. Insane. Right. But behind me, kind of to the way, like where you have the open fences and everything, he's got this old offset smoker that he loves out there, and he's not a big social media guy. You wouldn't catch him on social media at all. But man, that dude throws down. He absolutely throws down. She says he eat chicken nuggets. You know what? If you want to go chicken, we do. Whether it's thighs or breasts. If it's breasts, I cut them in half this way, not long ways, but like half right down the middle, and I'll marinate them. Whether it's the thighs or those half breasts, or the boneless thighs or the half breasts, and I'll marinate them in Coca-Cola for like a couple hours because it beats them up, right? It tenderizes them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take them out, you pat them dry, you put the seasoning on it, you wrap them in bacon, and you put them on the smoker. So it ends up being like this, like Coca-Cola bacon wrapped chicken that the whole family absolutely loves. My sister-in-law wants me to make that all the time. Like it's her birthday, she wants the bacon wrapped chicken, right? If you ask my 6-year-old son what he loves, he just wants to go out there and get a big ass cut of sirloin and grill a steak.
Let's go.
Steak, right?
Hey, the youngest Dirty Jersey, he's a Dude Network already.
Right.
So I have him with his own little account. I haven't posted with him in a while. But he's JT the barbecue master at JT the BBQ master.
Okay, I'm gonna find him. Yeah,
so you gotta find him.
Awesome.
He's on there.
He can throw down too.
That's
awesome. Good. He's fun. I love it. And that's how I got on the googly eyes with him too.
I remember that story.
Yeah.
Where he just, he's like, "Hey, Dad, look at this," and we start doing it. And then next thing you know, if I had a post without the googly eyes, I was getting direct messages like, "Where are they? Where are they?" You know,
you
that
okay?
bacon wrapped chicken was amazing. But you know what my kids absolutely loved, and it was a more recent post of mine, and I still haven't done the full reel of it. I got to edit it and put it up there. But we did like chicken nuggets. So we got like the chicken breast tenderloins, right?
Mhm.
You take the tendon out and you cut them up, and I seasoned them, I smoked them and deep fried them a little bit. So I got like chicken nuggets, right?
Yeah.
And then I did waffle batter. I brought the waffle iron out, and I made waffle batter. I dipped the chicken nuggets in the waffle batter and put them on the waffle iron, so the nugget was inside the waffle, right? So it was like little chicken nugget waffles.
That was awesome.
And the kids absolutely loved them. A lot of
sucker
work
for
for that,
chicken
right? It was a lot of work
waffles.
for that, right? But it was
Yeah.
something that, like, my wife still talks about it. Like, yeah, man, the kids all love that. You got to do that. You got to do that while we're in South Carolina.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Robert
oh,
sold on that one right there.
it's, you know, you don't got to be Southern to love chicken and waffles.
No, sir, dude.
You don't got to be
Oh
Southern
my
to love chicken
god.
and waffles. My kids destroyed those. There wasn't even many left for me when I went to go eat. We're always the last to eat, right?
Always.
Dude, and that's a straight win in a house with young kids.
Yeah.
Like if they like it so much you have to worry about having enough for you, like, God, you are like Mr. Universe at that point, because
Yeah.
that's a straight struggle. That is a straight struggle.
But that, I'll tell you, I made like a full. It was like one of those half pans filled with it,
Yeah.
and they were gone so fast. Absolutely.
I gotta try that, dude.
And I just say, my wife got me a waffle iron for Christmas because it's what I wanted, right? Because we went away when we went to Nashville for my one sister-in-law's 50th birthday, and we're at the hotel, and all I'm doing is making waffles, right? And just going. I'm like, I need one of these damn things. I need one of these like those hotel flip waffle makers, right?
Oh,
so she got it.
Yes.
Like I'm in the mindset now of like, does it waffle, right? Like, yeah, just say right? Like, does it waffle? Like, forget does it smoke? I know Matt Rourke did that. Matt got me on the Facebook. It got me on the Instagram and everything. But
killing it too.
You know, he's on Next Level Chef and everything. But his wife is a school employee, and he's a school teacher in South Jersey as well. Yeah. And we had mutual contacts that got us in touch when I started posting my barbecue stuff on my personal Facebook. He's the one that convinced me on a phone call to start on social media. He said, "Hey, you got to do this. Like, you won't believe how it blows up, how it does this, And I'm like, I never believed it. And then next thing you know, you got, I've been on a year and a half, maybe, a little more than that. And I can't believe it, how far it's come, and the people you meet and the contacts you make.
That's what's crazy.
I used to tell my wife, like, I got no friends. Like, I tell my wife all the time, like, I don't need friends. I got everything that matters to me is here when I open the door, when I get home.
Yep.
But I think sometimes this social media thing, like, it makes us realize, like, hey, there are people out there that are similar spots that, like, look, they just want to enjoy their family, but they love this, and like, just being able to be in those chats with some of these guys, Damon included there, that really kind of, keep you going. It's like that ends up being that sometimes. That ends up being that venting board sometimes. And I think people overthink social media sometimes too. Like, look, nobody's feeding their family off of this. Nobody on this podcast, nobody on here is feeding their family off of this. Like, we're documenting feeding our families. We're documenting feeding our families, but that's it. So have fun with it. You don't need pressure to post every day and things like that. Not everybody's going to be, 1 million followers and everything. But it's all about the interaction. It's all about, learning something different, making friends. Like, oh, you saw somebody do this. Oh, I'm going to go try that, and I'm as guilty as anybody. I steal like that, and I try to give credit when I see it and I know who it is. But it's maybe that's the doctor, But
if I don't complete, like, I'll see ideas and then I'll go, oh, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to change it a whole bunch of ways.
Yeah, you make it yours.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't always, I'll be like, hey, I saw someone do this. I decided to do like this, but if I'm guilty for not like giving credit all the way like that. Like if I like changed it a whole bunch, I guess I should always give shout outs to the original
Yeah.
idea. I'm
But
bad for
I
that.
mean, nobody's original on social media. I mean, we're never
Yeah.
going to be the first people to cook a steak or put
Yeah.
a tomahawk directly over coals caveman wise or whatever. God, I'm sure I'm certainly not the first person to put chicken nuggets in waffle batter, right? But it was just something like, yeah, I'm gonna try this. Let's see if it waffles. It waffled.
There you go.
Dude, that you should just do a whole series on that. I bet you that would explode.
I might have to bring my waffle
Explode.
maker with me to South Carolina. I might have to do it. So,
ooh, and on location does it waffle? Oh, dude, you're already viral. You're already viral.
I got to film this. I mean,
you saw
that's
him
the
here
whole
first
point.
on the
I get to
Dude
stay
Network.
free. I get to stay free at my brother-in-law, sister-in-law's house while we're down there. So they, we just all we do is when I'm down there, he has a big green egg and
oh, nice.
he has a Green Mountain pellet grill and a couple other things. Blackstone. He's similar to me, where he's got 5 or 6 things in his backyard. Yeah, I have a Blackstone grill. So,
yeah, that's one of the ones on my list.
Yeah, got the Blackstone griddle. Got a couple char grillers. I got lucky enough to get that auto Kamado sent to me by Char Griller last year. And
dude, that thing looks sick.
I actually got to clean it out because the sensor.
Are you on their team?
So it's okay. Like it's not. It was like a 1-year product reviewer thing. Like I guess they have like product. Companies would have like product reviewers versus this, and I forget. There's so many people on that team that are amazing, like content creators. And I applied, and I'm sure they talk to their big people and say like, do you know about this person? You know about that person? Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually heard that of certain companies doing that. So I'd imagine it's a.
But that contract is up, I think, next month for the 1-year like product reviewer thing, where it's like X amount of posts a month, everything, which is fine.
Yeah. Sure. But
man.
Anyway,
I might be, like I'm cooking on it anyway. Hell, I want to. You're sending me this. I want to cook on it, right?
Right.
Like I'm not gonna not cook on it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to email them and be like, hey, what are the chances that this turns into something more? Is there another product? Like, who knows? It's like you try to milk it, but you don't want to seem desperate either, I guess, in a sense.
No,
right?
but there's no harm being like, hey, I really enjoyed this. Like, is there anything else that whatever? I would.
Worst they gonna say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if so, you still got that one.
Yeah.
Like, I still have a cool. I don't know. I think it's cool. I like that little. I want a Kamado so bad, and the size green egg I want because it's partly my wife's fault. Like she got me the biggest pellet grill of the company that I have that they made at the time, and I was like, man, you didn't have to get this. Like we could have spent half this on the smaller one and we could have got something else. And her whole idea was like, as soon as you got, basically in so many words, she's like, as soon as you got the smaller one, you would want the bigger one and need it because you would start doing too much and fill it up too fast. So I was like, all right, I can't argue. So going into that, I want the huge green egg. Well, that's I'm not broke, but I don't have just that kind of money to just drop on the grill all the time.
So I call it, when I got the Acorn Kamado, the initial like Acorn Kamado. I used to call it my poor man's egg. Because I could do everything I wanted on that. Same thing as an egg. It just wasn't an egg, right? Like, and I think
that's what I'm saying.
The working families thing. Like, look, not for nothing, I love my brother-in-law, but he doesn't have any kids living with him anymore, right? So it's a big expense. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Damon's got a good chicken sandwich. I just brought comments back up. Damon's got some good stuff, man. How do you properly tailgate? Nobody tailgates.
Yeah. He's over here saying. Yeah, Damon's got. He just bought the big boy fryer. He's got
Yeah.
got it going on.
Yeah, I got a couple of little
He's
toys.
got that. He's got that fancy pellet grill too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Fancy pellet.
Unfortunately,
Actually, I want another one. Actually, I want another one. So
which one you got?
I mean,
I got the.
I got a Traeger. My wife bought me the Traeger Timberline 1300. So I'm over here talking shit to him, and I'm even worse.
I got the Rectech BFG. That's the biggest one I got.
Yeah. See, so my family got me a Green Mountain. So I got a Green Mountain. Handful of years ago. I was actually, I think my first one. Yeah, besides like an old Weber kettle and like the gas grill that everybody used to have, I don't even own a gas grill anymore. Unless you got the Blackstone, because the Blackstone runs on gas, right? So
yeah,
count that. But
I got a small portable gas that I use for tailgates, because where we tailgate, we're not allowed to have charcoal and stuff like that, and there's no power hookup. So
wow. See, I don't know if that could ever go in Philly, man.
Where you live, you're not
no,
allowed to have charcoal?
No. Where we tailgate for the football games.
Oh, yeah, and that's a big deal for you guys down there.
Yeah. Oh, see, if I could splurge on something right now, because I have the first thing I ever got was a Masterbuilt like electric smoker. And
that's like what almost everybody starts with.
Yeah. And it's funny, the first thing you cook on it, like I look back now, I'm thinking like, man, that was really shitty. But back then, like you think it's amazing, and it sparks your love for something and interest to learn something.
Exactly.
So, like, I still have that, and the funny thing is, I still use it more to keep food warm.
So happy.
more to keep food warm, right? But I have that.
Brilliant.
So I put it on the lowest setting, and after, like, if I have everything there, I'll put the stuff in the pans, foil them, and I put them in there. I don't just have the wood smoker or whatever. I keep it warm, right?
That is absolutely genius.
I don't own a Cambro. Cambro, hit me up. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Hey, shout out Cambro. We love it. We love, yeah.
I could use a few more.
So I have that. I have a Weber kettle. I got the Travel Joe, right? That I'll take wherever I go camping.
Oh yeah, the little
like right?
This
the
tall
little Smoky Joe, right?
I love that thing, dude. Yep.
So that's what 3. I got the Acorn Kamado, the Acorn Auto Kamado. I got the Blackstone. I got a Travel Blackstone too, and the Green Mountain pellet grill. So there's that, right? But if I could splurge on something, I've really been eyeing like those gravity ones, like that a Char Griller gravity one or something like that, where you get the
Char Griller makes a gravity.
Stuff. They make a gravity one, so I know Masterbuilt makes one, but Char Griller.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever heard of. Okay.
But man, I've been eyeing something like that.
I do like that a lot, because it's the simplicity and easiness of a pellet grill essentially, but it's still actual charcoal wood.
Yeah.
I do get that. And like, look, I own a monstrous pellet grill, got a backyard offset, the small Smoky Joe, and then my 22-inch Weber Performer, and I still cook on my Weber the most. It's just, I mean, if I'm doing a lot of stuff, I'll go to the pellet grill every time.
Red Beer, that's not a bad idea. I've never cold smoked cheese, and maybe that's the thing I could try on that. That's a good idea. I've never done that.
So I cure and smoke my own bacon. I butcher a pig every year, and I've been doing it for like 9 years, right? So that's my next move, is because we always smoke our bacon after we cure it, but I've never cold smoked it. And if you do I want to do it in my Weber, because you just use like pellets essentially, or dust, or fine chips in one of those rings or whatever. That's my next move. I want to cold smoke the bacon and cold smoke cheese. Oh man, dude, these guys are on it tonight.
Yeah.
So Redbeard, I use my old Masterbuilt gas smoker to do cold smoked cheese. Just turn the gas on long enough to get the wood chip smoke. Dude, all right. Yeah, I gotta get one of these. I used to have like this little one my buddy gave me, and I used it like 3 times, and then I pulled my old big half gas, half freaking offset thing that my boss gave me. I was like, sure, I won't let you throw it away, and then I didn't even use. I had to clean it up so bad. It was a rust bucket, and that's when like I just started barbecuing all. It was that and my little Smoky Joe, and
I tell you, Smokey Joe wherever we go. You know, camping
yeah,
wise, vacation wise.
same. I have this other thing like I have this grate that's on like an adjustable rod, and it's about the size of like a 22-inch Weber grill
Yeah.
grate. And I'm an electrician, so I have this stainless steel pipe that won't ever rust or decay. I cut it off at an angle, and I put a little offset in it so it'll hold my thing. So whenever I go camping, I just pound that into the ground next to the fire and do
See, that's
cast
like
iron open
that's
fires.
that's Al Fragoni level smart,
Yeah.
right? He's got that open fire and that.
Yeah. I'm not quite that level yet. I'm not trying to, but like I just did like the art of cooking, and like my wife and I went up to Northern California in the redwoods, right off, dude. Like it was like 50 yards to the ocean, and we're camping in the redwoods. Right,
Yeah.
brought the dogs. It was awesome, and that's all I brought. I brought my Dutch oven, a cast iron skillet, and my little backpacking stove in case I needed to boil water or something real quick if the whole thing was taken up. And I used that I only use my backpacking stove thing to boil water for coffee and to boil water for noodles one night. But I did like grilled zucchini, bacon wrapped carrots, and New York steaks with creamy garlic pasta one night for like our anniversary dinner. It was badass. It was all in cast iron over fire.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
No,
I'm
you
kind of
can't-
showing off right
Yeah,
now.
you
Sorry.
can't beat
Now, you're an electrician. You know, I am
Yeah.
not a handy person at all. You're the person, like, you're the friend I need, right? Like,
You got me, bro.
You know,
I mean,
yeah.
I know I'm a country away, but
oh, you know, it just stuff like that. That's the stuff that I don't know. I would love needing to know, and you know, just my dad was a Philadelphia Union carpenter for so many
Yeah.
years, and
let's go.
he passed away in 2007. Sorry, 2005. No, 2007. Passed away in 2007, and he was somebody that you know, he had his shop in the basement in the house growing up, and if you know, my little brother or I would go down there and try to hang out with him. He'd tell us to, hey, go read a book, right? And
Yeah.
it worked out well for my brother and I. Like, we're doing well for ourselves. Like,
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
younger brother's a neurosurgeon. I'm here and you know, working my way up in education, everything like that. And
Yeah.
you know, my older brother, you know, works for the government, and we've done well for ourselves. And yet, I don't know a damn thing about carpentry because he kicked me to hell. And I'm a carpenter's son. If I brought home a B on a report card, he would point to a cross over the doorway and say, you got a lot of work to do, son. You're the son of a carpenter. And walk the hell away. You know, he was
Yeah.
tough love. But it was
He did. It's like that thing where like you wish
I
you
mean,
could be
obviously
handy
better than
now.
Like,
Yes,
I
you
wish I
he
could
took-
have. Yeah. Like, I wish
but
I
he
could
was
learn.
making sure you didn't have to work hard like he did. That's, you know, I see both sides. I see both sides for sure. Trust me, I wish I didn't have to work hard. And I was going to school I have like 3/4 of a bachelor's degree in psychology before I was like, nah, this isn't for me. I got to work with my hands. So I quit that and I became a lineman, and now I'm an electrician.
Look, still, you know, people, there's things that are recession-proof industries in a sense, right? Like, people think about what happens when the electric goes out, man. You know, everybody loses their minds, right? Like, you know, you got to pay for electricians, plumbing, carpentry. Like, there's skill sets that,
Yep.
and it's a big thing, like career and technical education in the education field, where you're trying to introduce kids that might have that type of passion or that type of inkling, and try to help them with that. Like, we have so many CTE programs at the school that we're at with We have a welding program, an electrical program. We have a barbering and cosmetology program there. It's insane, but kids can really choose their own path, and that's what education's about, right? Being able to choose that path.
For sure.
Dude, that's huge that you have all that at your school. Like when I was growing up, we had like this one. It's funny that I became an electrician because I did take this like one electrical whatever engineering class in high school for like half. I was not a good student. I was not. I got my high school diploma because I went to summer school every year, including the summer before and after.
At least they let you
But I
walk.
got no, sir. They wanted me. No, trust me. Even if I was like eligible, there would have been some way they got me out of that. They were terrified of me in school because I was just wild, man. But I got the same one everybody else did, so whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's all that matters.
But
I tell my kids too.
we had
It-
ag and shop. That was it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nothing like that.
Nope.
and home cook. Look, we all started small. We all have small accounts. Like there's none of us have 1 million followers here, right? You're just good as anybody. And I guarantee you, when I look over your account, because I just saw you follow me and I followed you back, right? Like when I look over your account, I'm gonna see something that I'm like, damn, I gotta try that, right? Like it has nothing to do with a fan base. It has nothing to do with like a following. It really doesn't. I think we get caught up in those numbers because we feel like that's how we judge ourselves in our own heads, right? And you got to get away from that. You got to get away from that. The only person that we're battling, the only person that's standing in our way is a person in the mirror, and that's it.
Amen. Yep.
Right, and that's it.
Hey,
And
I've been through the whole thing you're talking about. I have compared to everybody that I hang out with on social media, I have a minuscule account. And I give 0 F's, man, because I get to hang out with these guys. If everybody stopped following me and I had 2 followers, but I still got to kick it here with all these people, send it, bro. Send it.
For real. Because even still, even if you do have them huge numbers, you'll go to find out if you got 100,000 followers, you're only going to have a good solid 1K following out of 100. That is your true following. So you always, no matter how big you are, how small you are, you'll still have that core group of true followers.
Well, here's the rough thing. Like, go look at if you look at all the people you following and follow you or whatever, interact with, like, and then you go and you look at your insights and look at okay, this reel did this many likes. We'll just easy numbers. Got 100 likes, 200 views, right? 187 of those were non-following accounts. And it's like, oh,
yeah.
What?
yeah,
Like I have like 1,500 followers. Like what's going on here? But it's not anything personal. It's not anything like when I was, every time everyone starts somewhere, I remember how pumped I was. I got my first 100. Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I hit 1,000, bro, and I was talking to all these guys who have a lot more.
Damon's above me. I mean, Damon on Instagram, I think is above me, and like I don't even know. Like I don't even know. I'm close to it. Like I have more on TikTok, but my TikTok followers, like they're not. I get more engagement and more. Like I get more out of Instagram with. I'm knocking close to 6,000, I think, on Instagram. Like I'm close. I've been teetering there for months. Not there yet. But I'll have like over 40,000 on TikTok, but I'll get, a couple hundred views or something like that because I'm not as necessarily consistent. Everybody will complain about the algorithm and everything like that. But you know what? you get out of it what you put into it sometimes too. I mean, you look at some of those accounts that have like the millions of followers, and they're posting religiously at 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock and doing 3 posts a day. Like, damn, I'm feeding my family. I don't do this full time. I can't do this.
And there's 15 stories every day. You're like, how are you doing this?
It's, and I love like the cast. I mean, I keep coming back to, even if I get in a posting funk or whatever, and she's right. Like this is, you know, home cooks right.
Exactly.
Like, love the people in the circle. It's a passion, right? Like some of those chats keep me coming back, right? Like that East Coast chat will keep me coming back and everything like that.
That's cool,
coming
man.
back to like to make sure I'm connecting with people and supporting everybody and everything. We all go through our phones.
That's right.
I'm in one right now, dude. Like I've only posted like a couple times like this week and maybe last week, and it's just like I'm still cooking, I'm still taking pictures, but I'm just like I'm being with my people, man. I'm just sorry, life's busy.
Family first, man.
You know,
family first.
Exactly.
Anybody ever tell you otherwise?
It goes for me, just so everybody knows. You know, I mean, you guys see us a lot here on, you know, the people that come to the shows and watch the shows and listen to the podcast. You know, you hear us all the time, but you know, this is what it is for me: family and work, because this doesn't pay my bills. And then this, trust me, I wish it was family and then this, and I didn't even have to say the W word. But, you know, maybe one day, maybe not. And it doesn't matter, because it's good enough right here.
That's why my wife makes me play the lottery, right? So somebody's got, you know, she keeps telling me somebody's got to win it, but I tell her it's a tax on people that suck at math. So,
dude, yeah, you literally have like a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice in the same spot and a plane crashing on you, like right there in the same moment, than winning the lotteries.
Yeah, it's sad when you have a seasoning company and Redbeard in the comments, right? And he's like, I had to resort to putting kakalaki on Taco Bell tonight for content. You know what you got to do? Your reel has to include, if you've ever seen the Carter Anderson comedy reels, and he has the recurring characters, and Taco Bell is one of those recurring characters, and that's one of those accounts that cracks me the hell up. And
that's not even your slogan.
That together, yeah, that's not your slogan, bitch.
Not your slogan.
Oh man, you don't follow that account. That's a hell of an account to follow. That one, and
yeah, you got to have that one, man.
You got to have that one. That one. I smile when that one comes up, and I just got to make sure my kids aren't around, because that's definitely not
real. For real.
So, but we usually keep this at an hour and a half for rocking past that, and that's totally fine. As long as everybody can hang out, we'll stay. But I did do some pirating, peer-to-peer sharing of your profile stuff, and
that's scary.
I do want to show off some of your stuff, man, because you know,
you can't cook.
Essentially, what first attracted all of us to each other was our food posts, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you know, come for the food, stay for the character, right? That's what we say around here.
We're all gimmicks, and I'm just as much of a gimmick as everybody. I got googly eyes on everything, right? There's googly eyes in the background if somebody
if somebody can find it, I don't know, we'll figure out something. But if you can find the googly eyes, we'll figure out something. But hey, tell us about these. I saw these.
Those weren't even mine.
Oh, now I feel like a piece of shit.
So you know what's funny is I was in this. So one of the companies I worked with is Barbecue Aid, and it was like, I forget what I had going that day, but I had something going, and we were in this Grilltober thing, and it was a taco thing, and I posted in the chat, and I think Ricky Morta Grill sent me that post, and I shared it and had that, you know, gave him all the credit in the world on that one, and he saved my ass on that day.
I didn't even read the comments. I was like,
so
"Oh, look at these shrimp tacos." What an idiot.
That one, I looked at that and I recognize it right away. I got to give credit to Ricky on that one because he saved my ass.
Well, hey, Ricky.
Oh yeah, because I was about
here tonight.
Yeah, because I was about to say that was Ricky's because I could recognize the jar in the background.
I was dude. So as soon as I posted, I was looking around for the googly eyes, and then you said it wasn't yours, and I went wah wah. Okay, well I know this one for sure is yours.
That's an old hand. It was a simple slider there. I didn't even know King's Hawaiian at the time had the pretzel sliders, and being a Philly person, I'm a big soft pretzel person, right? That's big in Philly. So what goes better on pretzels than some spicy mustard? And when I think spicy mustard, you think ham and cheese, and you melt a bunch of different cheese in there and use like a cheese spread in addition to some melted cheese for a good pull, right? And got to do it for the gram, and that was good stuff. That was good stuff.
All right.
Googly eyes were good placement on that one.
It was.
Yeah. So there are some that are just absolutely the googly eyes place. I mean, I can't just sit and play. He's got go follow him on social media to see the googly eyes. I can't play all of them, but I do have a few, and I'm sorry, but I gotta mute him because if YouTube hates the music, it is what it is. Huh?
What?
The jalapeno poppers. The funny thing is my wife will put all that together and then just said that was for Super Bowl. We were doing those for Super Bowl Sunday with the Eagles, and unfortunately we lost. But my wife absolutely loves.
Well, the Eagles lost. You guys didn't lose. You didn't lose. Yeah.
My wife, that's one of those things that we have a big get together. The jalapeno poppers got to come out, and she'll sit there and she'll prep those while I'm doing like pork butts and everything like that, and injecting the pork butts. Because if I do it right, I inject everything. I've never met a piece of meat that anybody bit into and said, "Man, I wish this was less moist." Right? So use that M word, right?
Absolutely fair enough, right there.
I'll inject almost everything. And maybe that comes from going down to that Myron Mixon school and everything, because he's all hot and fast versus the low and slow. And I know you guys have had him on the show. And it's hard to argue with his logic when he's won so much, right? So, there's some things I do exactly like it, and I take everything like that. But there's some times where I'm like, damn, I got a family of 6. I can't afford to spend, 24 hours on a brisket or 12 on a pork butt. Like, no, we're going to go hot and fast on this, and that's it. And everybody's always happy. So it's all about the layering of flavors, and sometimes that injection is just a layer of flavor.
Dude, I have the absolute save for pork butts anytime for pellet grill owners they want. I put it in, go to bed, and pull it off the next day when I want, pretty much.
So we don't really share our fails too much, right? But I have a fail reel that I'm really going to be sharing in the next week or so. That I put a pork butt on the not the auto Kamado, but the regular Kamado, and it's like, oh, we got to go to the store, we got to do this, we got to do that, and we go to the store, and I come back, and the grill just spiked. I don't know what I did, but the grill spiked, and I opened it up, and it looks all burnt on top and everything like that. My wife's like, "That's just char and flavor, right?" I'm like, "Nah, we're gonna figure this out." So, panned it with a bunch of butter and some like an apple juice vinegar type concoction. I got it cooked up and saved it. Pork is a very forgiving meat.
It is.
Very, very.
It is, yeah.
And I'm lucky that I was able to save that one. Very, very lucky, and I got a clean bone pull out of it, so I was happy. And it's I'll have to put that one together soon. I just haven't had the time because I want to do a voiceover for that and be like, this is how it started, and do the record scratch and be like, oh, this is where I was, right? And how the hell did I get here? And It's he's rejecting everything. I'm surprised he has 4 kids. I made sure it stopped at 4.
All right, hey,
I made sure it stopped.
yeah. This is a good question, and it's one for all of us. I think then we'll end it. That'll be about 2 hours, because I know these guys are on the. I mean, I don't know, guess half of you guys are on the East Coast. Everybody talking about freaking Philly and shit. But this is a good one. So Eric John Z. Damon, you have $75 to buy groceries to cook for your soon-to-be boss and their spouse. What meal are you cooking to seal the deal? Ooh. I'll leave that one up. I'll leave that one up for a minute.
Yeah.
Go easy, man.
$75. That's
We go easy.
a lot for $75.
Yeah.
See, it's your soon-to-be boss and their spouse. See, it'd be different if it was like my hopefully soon-to-be spouse, right? Because my wife and I had the Brady Bunch family, where we have full custody of my daughter from my first marriage. We have full custody of her son from our first marriage. We have 2 together. So it's one of those things where it's that would have been family oriented at that point. Everything was always family oriented from day one. Yes. When you talk about your boss and their spouse, right? I sit there and I look at it in 2 ways, right? I'm the type of leader where it's not just the boss and spouse. You're feeding everybody, and the leaders eat last, right? So if you're doing that, you got to go big. You got to go. You got to make some big stuff, and you could you could feed a hell of a lot of office people with some pulled pork and those apple pie baked beans and everything, and I could kill it with that, right? But it's hard to say no to a big thick ass tomahawk ribeye right there, and put it right there and put it on and take that deflector plate out at the end and throw it right over the coals and have somebody that might not know that it might sit there and think like, hey, is that going to get ashy? Like, no, watch, it doesn't even come up. Like, it's one of those things. You get that. We take those like little potatoes, and we'll smoke and deep fry them up too. For the family. Kids love them. My kids call them golden potatoes is what they call them.
Yes.
Like those little potatoes. We love. The only vegetable my damn kids eat is broccoli. So I end up doing so much like broccoli.
Hey, I love broccoli.
Beans or anything like that. And I love some good green beans, some good string beans, some carrots. Like I love that stuff. But man, it'd be like pulling teeth trying to get my toddler to eat that. So we
at least they eat broccoli though, man. Broccoli's really good for you. So
they'll end up eating broccoli. And so it's broccoli. We got more bags of frozen broccoli in the damn house than I know what to do with.
Yep.
You put it in the microwave at the end and put some butter over it and seasoning and call it a day. So you can make compound butter, right? So
fancy broccoli.
Yeah.
What about you, Damon? I got mine. I know exactly what I'm cooking.
I mean, hell, I was going to go the simple, easy route too. And I mean, you can always impress with a good steak and potato, but I mean, hell, I guess I'm going to just have to do bologna sandwiches then.
Oh, get out of here.
We're bringing the pork roll.
Yes. No, I mean, everybody loves a good steak. Because, I mean, if everybody didn't love good steaks, then the damn steakhouses wouldn't be slam full every time you go by them. So, I mean, you just throw it like Eric said, you just throw down a nice big old thick steak for them. Some good potatoes and a salad, and they'll love you to death.
And if they ask you for well done, you make sure you quit the job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you do not work.
Yep. So I'm finding out what his favorite cut of steak is, right? Because for some reason there are people who don't like ribeyes that much. I'm not sure why. But I'm cooking the steak, and yes, I'm cooking them all medium rare, maybe medium at the most, and he can deal with whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'm really good at making a homemade Alfredo, so I'll probably do up some Alfredo noodles, and then so I got these Kevlar grill bags my parents got me, and grilled Brussels sprouts are absolutely delicious. So I do some of those, and I don't know. I figure out some kind of sprinkle to put on them, and
I don't know where you're getting $75 for one tomahawk, but you go to Sam's Club, you get one for like 20 something.
No. Hey, they ain't gonna be like no Friction Family Farms 3-pound tomahawks for everybody. No. We're getting like regular. Look, he knows I'm trying to get a job, so you know.
We're broke right at this moment.
Yeah.
Look, ribeyes are for the special occasions, right? I mean, when it comes to the house, it's always the cut of choice tends to be like either a fillets or sirloins, right? Because they're just cheap. You put a bunch of fillets on the kettle and be all right, or put a big thick cut of sirloin. I'm notorious for it. We didn't take something out of the freezer. I'll go right to the shop down the road and like, let me get an 1.5 inch thick cut at sirloin right there and just throw it on. It'll feed everybody. It's big as hell. Get done. But I mean, if I'm cooking for my boss and everything, it depends. You got to find out what he's like. If he's a vegan, he's a vegan. I might not want him as my boss.
Better reason not to work there.
Yeah, if he's a vegan, I'm either A, not working there, or just taking him out to dinner for $75.
I'm in good with all my bosses, so I'm good. Knock on wood. But my wife's starting a new job soon. Within the same district. We work in the same district. She's getting a little bit of a promotion, so I might have to cook for the office and kind of make sure she starts off on the right foot there. So we'll see.
There you go.
Nice. Well, real quick, is there anything big coming up for you you want to brag about? Roll out the red carpet for you. Tell people where to find you.
No, I mean, I'm on. Like I said, I'm opening up that wrestling academy tomorrow. So I'm hoping for the best with that. Nothing crazy. It's not a money grab. It's more to help the kids. But I just hope kids take advantage of it and everything. And all I had to do was pay for the USA charter and the insurance. So nothing too crazy. If kids want to buy like gear, they could buy it on their own. Just put a website up and do it.
There you go.
But I mean, TikTok, Instagram. I'm just starting on YouTube, All Dirty Jersey Barbecue. I was not too creative with the wrestling academy. That's Dirty Jersey Wrestling, right? That kind of thing, right?
Perfect, dude. Hey, it's a great marketable name, though, for sure.
It is. So, it's dirty. We're gonna get down and dirty with the technique there and everything.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
And get down and dirty with it. But no, I mean, hell, if I ever move out of Jersey, I'm definitely gonna have to get just as good of a name. And who knows? maybe Does It Waffle is gonna make a come. Make a start a series with Does It Waffle. I don't know. We're gonna have to see.
Dude, I'm telling you. I'm already hooked. I
need some ideas to know if I can cook it on a waffle iron. So if you got it, DM me and on Instagram, I'll get back to you and I'll give you credit for the idea. We'll put the thing up there and
let's go.
Let's do it. Give me some ideas.
Yeah.
Give me some ideas, and we'll put some googly eye placements on there and have some fun.
Hell yeah.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking around. Hope everybody had a good time. Eric, thanks so much for coming.
Appreciate you.
This is a good time, man. Anytime you guys need me, man. I love it. I love the show. I love what you guys are doing, and
likewise, man. Seriously, love having you on. Love hanging out. And just heads up, next week, everybody, it's Easter. We're taking a week off. We talked about it here. Family comes first. Everybody else is going to be busy. Sorry if you're upset, but it's Easter Sunday, man. We all got lots of stuff to do.
Right.
Moving forward with that for the rest of this, and then for a month, you might not see Johnsy that much. It'll be probably a lot of Damon and Tony. I got a crazy outage at work, and they're really messing with my schedule. So it is what it is.
I might have to put in an application to be your replacement. I don't know.
Hey, dude. That'd be a sick fill-in for a while, man, right?
You know what? We can tag team it, man. We'll have to talk to Tony.
Hook up with Damon, talk with Tony. We'll figure something out. That'd be cool. But the week after that, who do we got the week after that? I can't even remember right now.
We got Aaron Holmes with Home Stuff.
Oh yeah, from Home Style Foods. Yeah. If you guys missed that Friday night, we built the dude pizza with him. It's still in the works. Don't worry, that's not just a dead thing. But we'll get him on tomorrow, or 2 weeks. 2 weeks, not tomorrow, obviously.
Yeah,
but everybody have a good week. We'll see you on Thursday for the Rev Show and Friday for the weekend kickoff party.